how do I want to explain this? I would say it's probably a phenomenon. And it's right outside of Hayes here on Old 40, and it's called Blue Light Lady. Have you
Right,
ever heard of that?
right. That's Elizabeth Polly,
Well, and what it is that little hill that's out there.
Sentinel Hill.
We, as teenagers, used to go and pull into the pasture land there, and we used to sit there for hours and hours and hours on end, a whole bunch of us. No car lights on or anything. We would bring our camp chairs and whatnot and sit out, and the guys would drink a beer, and the gals would all be sitting there having their Pepsi or whatever they would drink, and we would just be visiting. Nobody keeping quiet. I mean, we didn't feel the need that we had to be quiet or anything, but there, it's that phenomena of seeing that hazy blue light that drifted a little, like swayed, and it was almost like seeing a lady in a blue diaphanous gown like they wore back in the day, and with the wind blowing and it was moving and stuff like that. And none of us were afraid of it. It was just something that existed that we'd heard about for years and years, and we would sit out there sometimes every Friday night and every Saturday night and every Sunday evening, hoping to see it.
And you
And
saw
then,
it.
and oh yeah, more than once. But again, it's a phenomena that has to do with ground mist, moonlight, cloud cover, and things like that, that can explain what you're seeing. But it doesn't matter if that's what it is. What matters is what you believe that it is. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? It's this story that you've heard from little on up, and it's not a spooky story, it's not a scary story or anything. It's just makes you feel like she's waiting for someone, and not in a bad way.
So you grew up hearing about all of this.
Oh yeah.
Now, I'm reading about stories of Elizabeth Polly who caught cholera, died a miserable, horrific death from that, and then apparently was buried up there on Sentinel Hill.
Well,
Um,
and we always heard that she died too young for her. I mean, she died very young,
mhm.
and that she's been waiting all these years for her lover to join her, and now whoever he was,
Ephraim was her husband,
and wherever he was buried.
Texas, I think.
But see, that's the thing. She's waiting for him. He's never going to be buried in the same place she's buried.
So that was an odd phenomena that you've experienced. You believe is true, whether it has anything to do with.
Well, and I think that it explains itself. Science has explained what it actually is, and I believe it. I believe that is what it is. But it doesn't take away from what you care to believe is behind it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so you can explain it by telling me science, but I can also say there is a body was buried up there, and she was very young, and she is waiting for her loved one, and they're never going to be united,
So you would say you had seen this phenomena half a dozen times?
at least, if not more than that,
Wow.
especially throughout high school.
But it's never predictable. It was just you were hoping
No,
and then
and I think that's where the science part comes in true, where it has to be the exact conditions of ground mist, with the dew and stuff like that, cloud cover,
static electricity,
and your
storm clouds.
moonlight, and that type of thing. And who knows if there's a car, you know, 4 or 5 miles down the road, the other from behind it, that actually has to play in it as well,
Mm.
which was some of the explanations as to this is why it happens, and that there really isn't a ghost up there Some people call it a ghost. We've never thought of it as it being a ghost because to us, ghost always meant a negative thing.
That makes sense.